Korea's new underwater missile tests just as nuclear talks are set to resume with the U.S. A new warning from the State Department.
October scorcher. 18 states facing record heat. The East Coast bracing for temperatures topping 90 degrees as the Midwest gets slammed with severe storms, tornadoes, and flash flooding. Ginger tracking it all.
Impeachment showdown. Overnight, the State Department Inspector General set to provide new documents to Congress as President Trump calls the impeachment inquiry a coup, and Secretary Pompeo clashes with House Democrats, accusing him of stonewalling the investigation. Will the new evidence strengthen the case for impeachment?
Guilty. Former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger now facing a sentence up to 99 years in prison, convicted of murdering her neighbor in his own apartment. The emotional moments in the courtroom and the message from Botham Jean's family.
Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan suing a British tabloid. The blistering message from the prince, worried about history repeating itself after his beloved mother's death, now saying he fears for his wife.
Human chain heroes. Moving new footage emerges, police officers banding together to rescue a family trapped in a tropical storm.
And GMA exclusive, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, revealing his private health battle.
I also am a survivor of breast cancer.
How he discovered it and his message for all men, only on GMA this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Michael, that seemed like a powerful interview.
Yeah, it really was. Matthew Knowles, he decided it was time to share his story with the world about his personal battle with breast cancer. It's a really important message for all men this morning.
And to realize it does happen to men. So that is ahead. But first, we're going to begin with that breaking news out of North Korea, firing a ballistic missile into the sea. This just hours after announcing upcoming nuclear talks with the U.S. this weekend. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, tracking all the latest in Washington this morning. And Martha, the timing here is obviously significant.
It is, Robin. North Korea is sending a strong message to the U.S. this morning, just as those working-level nuclear talks are scheduled to resume the first time since that Hanoi summit last February. A U.S. official says this ballistic missile was launched from the sea east of North Korea's capital. It traveled nearly 300 miles and reached an altitude of 565 miles before landing in the Sea of Japan. This would make it the highest altitude launch since 2017. A U.S. official says this was a test of a submarine missile, although the official said it was not launched from a submarine, but likely from a platform at sea. Kim Jong-un's submarine-launched missile program poses a significant threat because they're more difficult to detect. This is the 11th launch of a missile or rocket this year. President Trump continually downplays these short-range missile launches, just last week saying that a lot of countries test short-range missiles. There's nothing spectacular about them, and it wasn't part of his agreement with Kim Jong-un. But the State Department had a different message this morning, calling on North Korea to refrain from provocations and abide by UN Security Council resolutions. Robin and George?
They are violations of those resolutions. We're going to turn the latest now on the battle over impeachment. The president is calling the inquiry a coup, saying he wants to interview the whistleblower at the center of it all. As Secretary of State Mike Pompeo clashes with congressional leaders, and the State Department Inspector General, independent, is set to turn over new documents on Ukraine to Congress later today. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega tracking all the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. House Democrats and the Secretary of State are both accusing each other of intimidation, but it seems, for now anyway, at least some of the people that Mike Pompeo does not want deposed on Capitol Hill are defying him.
This morning, a showdown on Capitol Hill. House Democrats demanding to depose 5 current and former State Department officials who are witnesses in their investigation. But the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, rebuffed the request, at least for now, calling the demand, quote, an attempt to intimidate, bully, and treat improperly the distinguished professionals of the Department of State. Democrats livid.
Secretary Pompeo is just stonewalling and delaying, and we aren't going to put up with those tactics.
And overnight, the Democratic chairs of the House Foreign Affairs, Oversight, and Intelligence Committees sending a scathing response, accusing Pompeo of a blatant cover-up and a clear abuse of power. President Trump escalating his own attacks on the Democrats' impeachment inquiry, calling it an attempted coup on his presidency. He tweeted, "As I learn more and more each day, I am coming to the conclusion that what is taking place is not an impeachment, it is a coup intended to take away the power of the people." The president also blasting the whistleblower, saying he's not only entitled to know the identity, he now also wants to interview the person. The president tweeting, "Why aren't we entitled to interview and learn everything about the whistleblower and also the person who gave all of the false information to him?" But the president's own inspector general is calling the whistleblower's complaint credible. And now top Senate Republican, Iowa's Chuck Grassley, issuing this public rebuke, saying this person appears to have followed the whistleblower protection laws and ought to be heard out and protected. Uninformed speculation is counterproductive and doesn't serve the country.
And now this morning, of course, after Pompeo was found, that revelation that Pompeo was found to be among those listening in on the call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine, the State Department's own inspector general is headed to Capitol Hill for what he is calling an urgent briefing in a secure facility there. The topic, George, the State Department's documents related to Ukraine.
And so he's turning those over today. Meantime, two of the witnesses that the House wanted to see from the State Department are actually going to appear before these committees.
Yeah, and it's going to happen pretty soon, George. The former U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, Kurt Volker, he resigned last week, of course, after he was named in that whistleblower complaint. He's agreed to give a deposition tomorrow. And then the former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, who was pushed out earlier this year, she will meet with Congress next week, George.
Okay, Cecilia Vega, thanks very much.
And George, you're going to be leaving us a little bit early this morning to travel to Washington to meet with Nancy Pelosi.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, of course, she launched the formal inquiry last week. We'll bring that exclusive interview tomorrow morning.
Okay.
All right, we cannot wait to see that. And now we're going to turn to the extreme weather across the country. The East Coast bracing for record high temperatures today and flash flooding hitting the Midwest overnight. Ginger has the very latest. Good morning to you, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. Stunning numbers coming in as far as that heat. After dozens of cities marked their hottest September on record. Yesterday, 18 states had record highs. 52 cities tied or broke their hottest October temperatures on record, including Cleveland and Atlanta. Today, that's going to settle in on the East Coast. I wanted to bring you some of the numbers because a place like Philadelphia could go to 94, seeing their hottest temperature in nearly 80 years. 98 Richmond. Unbelievable numbers here. But you know, between there and the record lows that are happening in Montana, there are going to be storms. Up to 4 inches of flash flooding in Milwaukee. Flash flood threat that's go from Texas and Oklahoma all the way up to Michigan. And now I am honored to bring you a brand new tool that we have here at ABC News. This is augmented reality, where we get to focus on one state, pop it right out of the ground, and showcase what's happening there, because this is where the dangerous weather is possible today. So let me start you out. See the streamlines? Those are the red lines. They represent winds at the surface, the cold up above, the flash flood threat in between that includes a lot of mid-Michigan, Lansing, and West Michigan. Then I want to bring on what happens when you had a warm front as of yesterday. The warm air is rising, and if we take the camera, we can move anywhere. This is the cool part of this tool. You see where that warm air was rising up and over the cold, creating thunderstorms that don't move much. Well, now that front has become stationary, and what's going to happen is it's going to see training where the thunderstorms just roll over. You could easily have 2 to 4 inches of rain fall in a very quick period, and that's when it becomes dangerous or deadly, and what this tool is going to help us show to you. Guys?
Wow.
Wow. Really cool.
Right? Are you stunned?
Why?
I know, now you all will love weather as much as I do.
I'm just wondering what else we're going to do with
What
it.
would you be able to do with that?
So much. I mean, think about it. You can get down into the nooks and crannies of, say, a mountain range and showcase where exactly the fire is, where it could move next. You can talk about lake effect snow, how it begins, how it ends. It's going to be really powerful.
Wonderful.
And a big thanks to all the graphics team, because that thing just doesn't pop out of the ground. That actually takes a lot of people.
On that.
So thank you.
It takes a village. Always takes a village. Ginger, thank you. Now to sentencing day for the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed her neighbor, Amber Geiger, found guilty of murder. The jury making the unanimous decision after just 5 hours of deliberation. Now they'll decide how long she will spend behind bars. Marcus Moore is in Dallas with this for us. Good morning, Marcus.
Robin, good morning. I was in the courtroom when that verdict was read, and there was a burst of emotion. A year-long wait for answers and for justice had finally come to an end.
It took less than 5 hours for Amber Geiger to learn her fate.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder.
The former Dallas police officer convicted of murder for shooting and killing 26-year-old Botham Jean appeared to wipe away tears while an officer consoled her. Botham Jean's mother emotional and relieved in the courtroom, later telling the jury about the pain she's endured since losing her son a year ago.
I cannot sleep. I cannot eat. It's just been the most terrible time for me.
The diverse jury, made up of 12 people, 8 women and 4 men of different ethnicities, rejecting Geiger's claim of self-defense. She's now facing 5 to 99 years in prison.
This verdict is for them. We still have the sentencing phase to go, but this is a huge victory, not only for the family of Botham Jean. This is a victory for black people in America.
During the trial, Geiger claimed she mistakenly entered Jean's apartment, thinking it was her own, believing him to be an intruder. Jean, who had moved to Dallas to work for an accounting firm, was watching TV and eating ice cream. Geiger told the jury she warned him to put his hands up, although no witnesses corroborated her story.
And I yelled at him. It's like, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
One of them heard you say that.
I can't tell you why.
Well, it's because you didn't say it.
The 31-year-old appeared distraught after her conviction, walking straight into police custody. Tuesday's verdict, now a focal point in the nationwide conversation about equal justice for all.
The call for justice means that police have to be held accountable for shooting citizens when there are other options.
And friends and family are remembering Botham Jean this morning really as a ray of sunshine. This is a guy who was very much on his way in his professional life, but also active at his church. And his friends and family are vowing to carry on his legacy of love and generosity. Robin.
Marcus, you've been on the story from the very beginning. As you said, you were there in the courtroom. What has been the reaction there in Dallas to this verdict?
Well, you know, there's really, Robin, been a lot of anticipation for this verdict. A lot of people were concerned whether or not she would even be convicted. So there were a lot of people who were surprised by the murder conviction, and certainly this is a cause for celebration for people who feared they might not get justice. Robin.
Botham's family. Okay, Marcus, thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to move on now, Robin, to new trouble at the ATM. Withdrawal fees have hit a record high. They may keep climbing. Our chief economics correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, here with the details. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. Yeah, that's right. Not what people want to hear, but here's the issue. When you use an ATM that's outside your banking network to take out cash, you're not just charged by that company, but you're also charged by your bank in many cases for using a foreign ATM. And according to a recent survey by Bankrate, the average total cost for an ATM withdrawal has now hit a record $4.72. That is up 33% over the last decade. And there are a couple of factors that are driving this. First of all, fewer Americans are using cash, so banks are spreading those fees out over a smaller group of people. Banks also tend to hike fees when interest rates are lowered, like the Fed just did in July. And George, the Fed's expected potentially to lower rates again going forward.
So how can you avoid these rising fees?
So it's pretty simple, actually, to do it, but you do have to plan ahead, George. So first of all, stick to using your own bank's ATM. You're not going to get hit with those charges if you do that. You can also use your debit card to make purchases at stores and then request the cash back. And then there's also going cashless, George. You have to plan a little bit ahead for that, but you can take advantage of the credit card instead. But make sure you don't spend money that you don't have if you're doing that.
More and more people are doing that. Rebecca, thanks very much.
Or just have somebody else pay for it. The best way to do it. All right, Rebecca. We're going to turn now to that battle brewing between the royals and the tabloids. Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan are suing over the publication of a private letter the Duchess sent to her father. And now Prince Harry is sending a message warning his wife is falling victim to, quote, the same powerful forces behind the loss of his mother. Amy is here with more. And this goes back and forth.
It certainly does.
Tabloids and the royals.
Yeah, and it's had a lot of history and some tragic ones indeed. And Prince Harry says he respects the media and that given the current state of the world, he says we need responsible media more than ever. But they are now taking on the Mail on Sunday and its parent company, accusing them of being on a campaign to publish false and deliberately derogatory statements about the couple. As Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan embark on the last day of their tour of Africa, a trip that's garnered them positive coverage around the world, a royal bombshell, Harry taking direct aim at British tabloids, accusing them of escalating what he calls knowingly false and malicious attacks on Meghan throughout her pregnancy and during the first months of their son Archie's life.
Harry defending his wife, saying, "I have been a silent witness to her private suffering for too long. They have been able to create lie after lie at her expense. There is a human cost to this relentless propaganda, specifically when it is knowingly false and malicious. I cannot begin to describe how painful it has been." Harry has often talked about how he instantly fell for the American-born beauty.
I'd never heard of Meghan before, and I was beautifully surprised when I walked into that room and saw her, and there she was sitting there. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to really have to up my game.
But during their engagement interview, they also spoke about the difficulties they faced dealing with the tabloids.
I think we were just hit so hard at the beginning with a lot of mistruths that I made the choice to not read anything, positive or negative. It just didn't make sense, and instead we focused all of our energies just on nurturing our relationship.
On us. Yeah.
On us.
Harry says the decision to take legal action was made when the Mail on Sunday published a private letter the Duchess sent her estranged father, Thomas, after he missed their wedding. Harry alleging the letter was published in an intentionally destructive manner designed to manipulate the reader and further the divisive agenda of the papers, and purposely misled readers by strategically omitting portions of it. The prince also comparing the plight of Meghan to his late mother, Princess Diana, whose death he spoke about in the BBC documentary Diana, 7 Days.
She'd had quite a severe head injury, but she was very much still alive on the back seat. And those people that caused the accident, instead of helping, were taking photographs of her dying on the back seat.
In the statement, the prince writes, "My deepest fear is history repeating itself. I've seen what happens when someone I love is commoditized to the point that they are no longer treated or seen as a real person. I lost my mother, and now I watch my wife falling victim to the same powerful forces."
And the lawsuit is being privately funded by the couple, and they say they will donate any proceeds they may get to an anti-bullying charity. Now, the Mail on Sunday says it stands by its story and that it will defend this case vigorously.
And we know that Prince William, his brother, sued a tabloid as well.
That's correct. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge sued a French magazine, you may remember, citing that serious breach of privacy after it published topless photos of the Duchess back in 2012. The pictures were taken with a long lens while the couple was sunbathing on a patio at a private home. They reached a financial settlement with the magazine 2 years ago, and the royal family noted, again, the similarities to Princess Diana in that case as well, saying the incident is reminiscent of the worst excesses of the press and paparazzi during the life of Diana, Princess of Wales, and all the more upsetting to the Duke and Duchess for being so. So yes, we're seeing this time and time and again, and they're finally taking matters into their own hands.
Yeah, good for them.
Yep.
They should. All right, thank you so much, Jamie.
Thanks, Amy. Found a lot of other stories this morning, including Michael's interview with Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles. He reveals his breast cancer diagnosis. That interview only on GMA this morning.
We cannot wait for that. In the fight against vaping, we go on an exclusive ride-along with police undercover. But first, let's go back to Ginger. Ginger?
Yes, and today, Washington, D.C., if you get to 96 degrees, you tie an all-time October heat record. But it's not going to last long. Everybody say bye-bye. By Saturday morning, yeah, we're talking about 40s, guys. All right, your local weather's coming up in 30 seconds. First, though, Chili Cities, sponsored by Walmart.
Let's take a look at that. Great concentration by the seat. He gets both feet in and out. A dominant performance here today. Hand off to the right side. Third and inches. What's your score?
No idea.
Walk to school day for the kids today, starting out pretty mild in the mid-70s. We'll hit 90 degrees by noon today on weather alert because of extreme conditions here for October 2nd. We'll shatter the record for the date and maybe set all-time high temperature records for the month of October, at least getting close to it. But just one day of it. Mid-80s tomorrow. We'll have some cloud cover across the area, maybe even a brief shower. And then cool conditions for Friday. We're back to 73 and feeling like fall finally this upcoming weekend.
96 in D.C. You'll be heading there.
Better put on an undershirt.
I'll be right back. You never know what he's going to say.
This seat is reserved for the restless, those who need to move and roar and ride, up, down, over,